guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie.
Live long and prosper.
So I hope you're having an awesome week wherever you are. Having a look at the charts, we have another beautiful green day for Bitcoin. Bitcoin up 6.2%, $12,586. Some of the other coins and tokens not performing as well today, but you guys know it has been a Bitcoin market. All eyes are on Bitcoin. We've been saying this on the channel for quite some time. I hope you guys had an opportunity within some time in these past few days to maybe put in a long if you're trading over on Bybit, because I'm sure if you did, you're doing quite well at this point. But that being said, we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Where is it heading? Why we may potentially not see another correction until we get to that $30,000 level. We're going to also talk about altcoins, and a lot of people very upset about the performance of the coins. But the thing is that there have been good altcoins. In fact, there's been many altcoins that have been outpacing Bitcoin this entire time. But the question is, which ones are they? So we're going to get into that, and I may have a potential opportunity for you guys if you're interested. Definitely, stick around for that. But as usual, we are definitely going to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin, where this price action is going. Also, China central bank looking to make their own digital currency. What does that mean? Could that be good news for Bitcoin? Well, we're going to talk about that as well. And if that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if you're brand new to the channel and you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day. Now, let's get into it. Let's give it a quick refresh live. So currently, oh my goodness, Bitcoin dominance at 64.2%. Wow. Wow, guys, it's up over 1% since just this morning. $348 billion market cap. Now, you'll see right here, you do have a lot of mix, but if we switch this to the Bitcoin comparative, it's a lot of red, guys. We have Bitcoin Gold surprisingly up 3%. Agrisha, still on a tear, guys. Agrisha is just unstoppable. Augur's up a little bit, but yeah, for the most part, I mean, all these altcoins are basically performing, red compared to the Bitcoin comparative. But if you want to look at the dollar comparative, we do have Agrisha up today. Walton Chain as well, Ren, Augur, Bitcoin Gold, Sia Coin, Clipper Coin, of course Bitcoin, and our good old buddy Quant. So there are some coins up today. Now, giving this a quick refresh, looking at this Bitcoin dominance, which was about 1% lower when I woke up this morning, you could see right here, if we zoom into basically what's just been happening, since the beginning of January this year, it's not hard to see that Bitcoin dominance has been going up and up and up. And you can clearly see that we are very low here when it comes to the other altcoins. So what does this mean? Well, like I said, it currently means that all eyes are focused on Bitcoin. And currently, which now this is actually up and running, we can see that there is 2.7 real billion dollars that came in for Bitcoin. And if we look at the real 10 24-hour volume, we are sitting at $4.17, which is really good because even at the peak of the volume, we were only seeing around 5 billion. So this is very, very bullish, guys. Very, very bullish. Very good indeed. So you can see right here, we are still we're actually forming almost like a new ascending, broadening wedge a little bit right here. So obviously we had it back as support, and that support has now acted as resistance. So we would obviously need to break above that in order to continue. But the good thing I want to talk about is the fact that we are out of the clear when it comes to this blue zone. I said that we need to get above that $1,200 psychological level, and we would have to get above the $12,465 resistance. And currently, we are completely out of the zone. We are sitting at $12,560. So this is just very, very good news moving forward, right? Now, obviously, having a look at the chart, remember I said, if we just omit all of this madness that happened when we went up here, and we take away the little dip when we pulled down, because that was the crazy exuberance. That was almost the illogical movement of the market, right? You could see we are still moving. We've been supported by this sort of, dotted line in the middle of the trend, and now we're heading back upward. So we could potentially see a $13,000 Bitcoin sooner than later. Now, if we do remain in this channel and we touch it and we fall back down, well, then we're probably going to retest that $11,700 level. But personally, I don't think we're going to be going much lower than that. You can see we're currently trapped between these two really key areas. Now, we are above that $11,700 level represented by this green, yellow line right here. So currently we need to get above this 12,535, which acted as both of the tops here. We also had, I guess you could say, with this wick here, but it wasn't really much resistance. We blasted right through it. So currently, if we can get above that, well, then the next level would obviously be the $14,000 level, because that's where we just topped out. That was the absolute maximum price for this year, right? So what I really wanted to talk about, why this is so important, is because this is the first time since we had that major run up that we're not only putting in higher highs, but also higher lows. So that's a good thing as well. You can see right here. See, because back here, we had a high, then we had a lower high, then we had a lower high, then we had a lower high, right? And we had lower lows and lower lows. Well, now we are moving upwards. So, as you can see right here, I'm just drawing this very, very loose. But obviously, we are going upwards in a trend now, okay? So, are we going to end up coming to some kind of point at some point? It's possible. We're going to keep our eyes on it, right? But the one thing that I do want to point out is we are still above the 21 exponential moving average, which personally, I think alone just signifies that we are full on bear mode, because as you can see, as soon as we got above it April 1st, we have refused to go below it. And, obviously once we get above it, you could see we basically stay above it for, the last time we stayed above it for, years. So yeah, this could definitely be the beginning of something very, very massive, and we're going to talk about that. Josh Rager said, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. No way I was shorting Bitcoin after a close under the resistance again. Not much stopping this train, just minor daily and weekly resistance left until new yearly highs. Now, we got to talk about this because this was the most interesting fact, and I've been talking about this on the channel. A lot of people are like, when's the best time to buy? When should I get into Bitcoin? Well, I don't know if you're still personally waiting on the sideline, but I hope you understand that the best time to get into Bitcoin is pretty much now. Not financial advice, but like dollar cost average, you know what I mean? Every single week, just put away 10% or whatever it is that you're willing to afford to potentially lose forever, even though you're not going to lose it in Bitcoin. Come on, guys. We all know where this is going. But you can see right here, Bitcoin has existed for 3,837 days and been a bad investment for only 60 of them. So in other words, people who decided to buy Bitcoin one day and hold it until the past, well, this article came out Saturday, you would have made a profit 98.4% of the time. So can you imagine this? Depending on, you could have bought Bitcoin anytime over the past 10 years and you would have had a 98.4% chance of being up today. That's pretty incredible, guys. That is pretty incredible. So, but I understand, listen, for people that bought at the all-time high and had to hold through the bear market, I understand the agony and the pain. I went through it. But, hindsight is 2020, but we know what this thing does. We know what Bitcoin is capable of doing. We've seen it do it time and time and time again. And every time, we completely blow the previous highs out of the water. So long story short, of the 60 days in which buyers would be in the red, 48 of them were actually during the 2017 and 2018 crypto bubble, right? So it says 5 of the unprofitable days to buy Bitcoin have come in the past couple weeks. Obviously, we've, seen slightly higher gains recently, but we're going to definitely, I don't think they're going to be losses for much longer. Like if you bought Bitcoin at 13,000 or even at 14,000, I don't envision you waiting very long to break even on that. I think we're definitely headed back up. So you can see right here that basically dollar cost averaging is the way to go. I actually put this out on Minds, and I do want to say once again, thank you for everyone that has supported me and been following me. Now listen, if I didn't follow you back, they actually put a limit on me. Like they won't let me follow more than 50 people at a time, and then it gives me a message and says rate limit, you have to wait. So I will get back to you guys. It's just you got to give me time. I can only follow 50 people at a time. But you can see right here, this is the chart that I've been showing. I even tweeted this out. This blue zone represents every time you could have bought Bitcoin and you would be up, okay? So we've gone over this time and time again on the channel, but I'm going to turn this one over to Mark Yusko. Now, you guys know he's over at, Morgan Creek, right? And, you might be familiar with Pompliano. Well, this is the other half. And he was basically talking about why he thinks we are going to see a $30,000 Bitcoin before we see any more major pullbacks, and how he is still on track for a $100,000 Bitcoin by 2021. In fact, we could probably see it even sooner at this point. So that being said, let me just give this a quick play for you guys.
Here's the crazy thing. Over the past year, Bitcoin is up 70%. Everybody thinks it's in this bear market. Over the past 12 months, actually 9 months since we were together on October 7th, it's up 70%. It's the best performing major asset class this year. Remember, we were also together December, I think 13th on your show in the afternoon, and we talked about it 3,100. Is that the bottom? And look, that's a long way below here, and I think we're in the next parabolic move. That will take us probably into the 30,000 level before we get another little correction. And then look, there's a great path. I just did a webinar today talking about the path to 100,000 by 2021 is really quite easy to draw out.
So you could see he's still holding by his $100,000 prediction, and you got to give it to the guy. He pretty much called the bottom at 3,100 on not live television, but on CNBC. So, I mean, you got to give it to the guys. And yeah, I mean, I'm definitely feeling the same way because, I don't even know what will happen when we get to 20K, actually. I'm not even 100% too sure. We could probably look at what happened the last time we broke the previous all-time high, but I would imagine there would be a lot of excitement. I would also imagine that some people that maybe bought too high just kind of want to get out. Maybe they've been holding this whole time. But after that, I mean, the sky is the limit when it comes to the possible price movement. But here's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Now, we've talked about institutional money coming into the space, right? So here's the thing. You have Edward Moya, chief market scientist over at Oanda Corp, which is a global leader in currency data and Forex trading, saying that Bitcoin looks like it could be coiling up for a big breakout as institutional interest for blockchain technology shows no signs of slowing down. The bubble-like gains this time are driven on solid institutional interest, and while security is still a big risk, it appears that Bitcoin has overcome many of its initial growing pains. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. And the other thing too is, yes, you do have those day traders. Yes, you do have people that are speculating on price and, they're swing trading and whatnot, but a lot of these products that are coming out, right? They're for, the person who doesn't know what to do with their money. A lot of these people, they just want to park their funds somewhere. They just want to put their, portfolio in a place where hopefully it'll grow over time. So, even with what you're seeing with Grayscale and things of that nature, you could definitely tell that these guys are looking to just buy and hold. And I think that actually this institutional money is going to prop up and actually create a floor for the price because they're not going to be selling. Right? These guys are looking to invest in something long-term to create long-term wealth. So that's what I wanted to point out. But listen, I understand if you guys are like, this sucks, K-Dub. Like, I know you were talking about Bitcoin, but I wanted to try to, make some gains on the altcoins. Will there be an altcoin season? Yes, I think there will be. Why wouldn't there be? I think it probably isn't going to happen until like where a lot of the coins just start pumping for like no reason. Probably not until about 20K. Once we get back to the all-time high, then you might see the entire market cap kind of start to boom as far as the altcoins. But as far as specific altcoins go, how do you know which ones to pick? It's very, very difficult. I'm only one person. I can only do so much research. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to give actually a massive shout out to my friends actually over at Crypto Briefing. I've had an opportunity to talk with these guys and meet them several times at different conferences. You might be familiar with them. In my opinion, they are one of the most trusted sources. They don't even do sponsored content or anything like that. So basically, they finally decided that if they're going to be doing all this research anyway, why not release it basically to the public as a service, as a product, and now they are bringing out SIMETRI, but it's spelled like SIMETRI, okay? Now, before I get into this stuff, stay with me, guys, because this is really freaking cool. So they're actually integrating with CoinMarketCap. So CoinMarketCap is going to be utilizing the SIMETRI research now in their website. So that was the first thing that I wanted to talk about. But really, the main key that I wanted to point out is that they are releasing this to the public. So you guys can actually get your hands on this information. Now, the interesting thing about them is now you obviously you could have just dollar cost average, right? That's what I have done. I mean, I've basically just been holding Bitcoin with a handful of altcoins. Some of them we've done very well on, right? Like Quant Network has done very well. We had a few of them that did well and kind of have pulled back, but you could see right here, if you look over at just the gains, they go from October 8th of 2018 to May 31st of 2019, the Bitcoin ROI was only 29%, whereas their ROI based on their suggestions was actually 15%. So the question is, if you're looking to potentially outpace Bitcoin, because the whole goal here is to just get more Bitcoin. I don't know about what you guys are trying to do, but I'm just trying to utilize these altcoin gains to get more Bitcoin, and you could see some of the ones that they recently suggested. VeChain, obviously, that did very, very well. Basic Attention Token had a massive spike at one point. This is Han, by the way. Definitely, he's a cool guy. I had a chance to meet him a few times. So yeah, I mean, you guys can look into this if you're interested. Now, do I suggest this for everybody? I mean, no. Listen, if you're just looking to just, invest, I mean, just dollar cost average, do your thing. If you're looking to go a little bit harder and you do want to dive into this, you can get involved with this right here. So the thing is, it is a little, it may be a little expensive for some people, but I mean, you have to ask yourself, like, are you going to do all this research yourself? I mean, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are already doing this, and you might be asking, first of all, wait, so if these guys are doing all this research, why don't they just buy the tokens and the coins themselves? Why would they give this information out, right? Right, that is a good question. It almost seems like suspicious, but the reality is, these guys genuinely just love what they do. For example, over here, you have Andre Cronje. I had him on the channel, and, he's contributed to Ethereum. He is the advisor over at Fantom. He's part of this. He does some of the research, and he doesn't even own any crypto. Crazy, right? And I don't know, I guess that helps him be more objective to like the stuff he writes. So obviously they're just looking to put this out to help people. But here, I'll play a little clip. This is sort of how they go through the research right here.
So the technology actually tells us a lot more than just what's happening in the tech. To use an example, so you've decided you like this project, you've looked at the website, maybe you've read the white paper, but it probably really didn't make sense. You've looked at the team portfolio, you like what their skill set is and their previous experiences. How do you assess from there? Are they the right team to do it? Are they capable to do it? Is what they're promising feasible? And is this the team to implement what they said they're going to implement? The beauty of our industry is it's a very open source culture. So we always have normally the preceding white paper, which is a lot of theoretical detail in how something's going to be implemented. And then we have the code base, which is an open source, what is actively happening and being built.
So I don't really have to go into the video too much. I mean, basically he's just talking about the process, but you can definitely tell that these guys, I mean, they do great research. I've always referred to Crypto Briefing when it came to research because I do trust their code reviews. So that being said, like I said, guys, if you are interested in getting involved, these guys are my buddies. I do trust them. They are credible. They're working with CoinMarketCap. Does this mean that everything that they say is going to be an absolute home run? Guys, no one knows for sure, but it definitely would help to steer people in the right direction who are potentially confused maybe about different altcoins to invest in. So like I said, guys, you can check this out. Crypto Briefing, SIMETRI. Obviously, the team has hooked me up with a referral link. Like, you don't have to use it, guys. You could just go to the website, sign up. It is a little bit expensive. It's $125 a month or $950 a year. But when you're talking about institutional grade reports, I mean, reports that you're having like literally like individuals pay $10,000 for this information and they're giving it out for $125 a month. I don't know. And you can cancel at any time. So check it out, guys, if you want. I do have a link below if you want to, help support the channel. You don't have to. But yeah, these guys are definitely legit. And like I said, they partnered with CoinMarketCap. So you're going to be seeing, this research integrated onto CoinMarketCap anyway, every single day, which is pretty much the website that we use. So, obviously that is the situation. Now, getting back onto all the positive news in the crypto space, because let's be honest, if you guys just want a dollar cost average Bitcoin, you're probably going to do fine anyway. But for those that are looking to, maybe make a little bit extra percentage and you don't feel comfortable margin trading, leverage trading, because that is very risky, well, maybe you can have an opportunity to look at some research and you can decide on your own, right? Obviously nothing financial advice, but just figured I'd let you know. Now check this out. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust outperformed everything in the first half of 2019. They say as of July 9th, the investment instrument is yielding 296% appreciation year to date, a stratospheric increase compared to any mainstream investments at all, including the S&P 500 only up 18.7% and the global Dow 12.9%. So clearly Bitcoin is the winner. And they go on to say that those seeking to receive a primary issue of the trust fund must hold accredited investor status and invest a minimum of $50,000 held in shares for at least a year. There's the key, before resale. So they are encouraging holding. Do you understand? So there's not going to, all these Bitcoin, right? You hear Grayscale, they're accumulating 21% Bitcoin as they come out fresh. Those Bitcoin aren't going to be moving anywhere. They're not going to be going anywhere. They're going to be holding them, right? So as Grayscale report published earlier, they said that institutions have accounted for around 66% of investments, with 88% of new inflows coming into GBTC. So a trend that the company characterized as Well, they're calling it the return of the Bitcoin maximalist, okay? So in May, Grayscale had reported that out of its 2.1 billion in assets under management, 1.97 billion were in its Bitcoin trust, which is, getting back to the charts here, once again, why I said that, currently, look at these red in these altcoins. This is why I'm saying, my portfolio was 40% Bitcoin, then it became 50%, 60%, 70%. I'm holding well over 80% Bitcoin now, guys. Some of it intentional and some of it accidental just because my Bitcoin portfolio just pumped so much. But it's really just, allowing me to understand that this is what they're looking at right now. You can fight it all you want, but why swim against the trend? The trend is your friend until the end. And the trend right now, these guys, they're coming in. LibraCoin just came out, and you know what? They're looking at Bitcoin. That's what they're looking at, right? So that is just the situation that we currently have right now moving forward. But yeah, we also have Fidelity International, right? They're a subsidiary of their investments, and they are saying that they could potentially also provide a massive boost for Bitcoin because there was a report that came out. Somebody familiar, right? Always got to love those. Someone familiar with the source, right? Confirmed that the staff across various parts of the international business are investigating blockchain tech. And here's the kicker. Also, according to the newspaper, the parent company is close to getting its trading desk up and running, okay? So this is just more bullish news. And I always like to go into my fundamentals. Well, Bitcoin mining difficulty, we spoke about this briefly the other day, is now at its largest 2-week increase in 12 months. So the strongest growth in any 2-week period since August of 2018. So this is a sign that the competition among the miners is not only intensifying, but it's intensifying at a faster rate. These guys are turning on their machines. They want to mine the Bitcoin. They want to get those rewards. They're seeing the profitability right now. Competition right now is so fierce. Mining difficulty has literally leapfrogged the entire range of 8 trillion to break the threshold of 9 trillion. The estimated difficulty at the next adjustment period could be as high as 10.35, which would be another 14.17% increase. And if that's not enough, over 20 million addresses now carry more than $1 worth of Bitcoin as unique addresses. Numbers pump. Now here is the thing though about unique addresses. Okay, for example, if you have a ledger, right? Well, every time you send Bitcoin to the ledger, it actually generates a new address for you. So, at this point, I've been using these different ledgers. I probably have like 50 different Bitcoin addresses myself, right? So you can't really assume that 20 million addresses means that there's 20 million people. It could very well just be 5 million people or 4 million people, right? That have 5 different addresses, but it still does show you that the numbers are growing, that activity is happening, okay? So that is something that you kind of have to take with a grain of salt, but I still think it's a statistic that we should be paying attention to. And guys, Lightning Network, Bitstamp, hello. We believe the Lightning Network has the potential to unlock a whole new level of utility for Bitcoin. We've set up our own Lightning Network node to help grow the network and encourage other companies to get on board. Kudos to you, Bitstamp, and thank you for supporting the network. Now, that is what I like to see. Now, here we go, guys. Breaking. China has received internal approvals to create a central bank digital currency and has already started building it, right? Now, if we come over here and have a look, the main reason, this is according to an article from the San Francisco Tribe, they say that the main reason that China has remained distant from the crypto space is basically due to its limited ability to control it, right? China doesn't like anything that we use, right? They don't like Facebook. They don't like Google. They don't like YouTube. They got all their own things that they want to use, right? They want to be able to control it. So the article goes on to say that China will not participate in any market that can potentially disrupt their economy or their traditional market system. So by creating their own internal digital asset, China can now effectively manage and control the crypto market stateside. So do you think this is going to have an effect? I do. And there's speculation that it may not only have an effect on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but it also may have an effect on Chinese projects, right? Like Neo or high performance blockchain or things like that, right? Now, it's just speculation. We don't know for sure, but that's what some people are saying. So, moving on, I know we got to get on out of here. We got some news to talk about. We got to talk about Binance lowering their confirmation time. This is cool. This is going to be faster for, I guess, if you're looking to arbitrage, right? So, they've now lowered block confirmations down to just 1 for Bitcoin. So, that's going to save you about 10 minutes, which is pretty amazing. And then we also have Ethereum and ERC20 tokens. They've lowered it from 30 blocks to about 12 blocks. So that's less than half the waiting time. I think it was taking around 15 minutes. So yeah, you should be able to get, ERC20s probably sent around in 4 minutes from exchange to exchange. So if you're trying to do some arbitrage, that could be pretty good. So that is that. Moving forward. Now we do have some bad news for Bitfinex and Tether. So it basically says that the New York Attorney General's office has provided new evidence in Bitfinex and Tether's case yesterday, proving that the two companies had served New York customers longer than they had claimed. Woo. You gotta love being a New York customer, right? Oh, sorry to hear that, guys. So this is the official statement that got sent out over here. But to make things worse, they say more damaging is the allegation that the company loaned tethers to a New York trading firm. So large whales can purchase high volumes of tethers directly, communicating their needs days in advance. Tether then creates these tethers, which it claims it only disperses once wire payments for each coins have gone through. But if Tether indeed loaned tethers to the investors, it suggests that the enormous volumes of tethers that have attended almost every recent Bitcoin price surge represent not real dollars, but debt instruments, meaning tethers have effectively been minted out of thin air. So, you guys knew it. We couldn't go too long without another tether situation going on over here. So, yeah, actually, it was pretty cool. They put this Tether scandals over here on Crypto Potato, and you could just read all the times that we've had all this Tether FUD. So I'll drop that below if you're interested. A lot of people are saying that a lot of this is like a fake bull run, right? It's just being printed by fake money and fake Tether. We'll find out sooner or later, right? I did warn you guys about this, and I did make a video entitled, "If this Black Swan event happens, it could be very, very bad for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency." I'll drop that above. Came out a while ago, so obviously the information in the video is slightly outdated as far as like the prices, but the information still remains relevant. So if you're interested, definitely hop over and have a look at that. But you can already see that it's having an effect on the Leo token, because it's, even though it's only down 6% today, you could see compared to Bitcoin comparative, it's actually down 10%. So really what's keeping it afloat is the fact that Bitcoin's having such a good day pumping today. But ultimately, if you were to look at it, it is dumping in comparison to the Bitcoin comparative and just in dollars in general. So I think that kind of freaked a lot of investors out. But moving on, talking about some quick stuff before we get out of here. So xFutures, they're a new futures trading platform that's going to actually allow trading on projects that haven't come out yet, except you're not going to have to deal with shady hit BTC, right? You're actually going to have a legit platform to do this on. So they're saying that now they're allowing users to trade tokens and coins that have not yet been released. I just said that. And they've announced Fantom as the first project. So there you go. You guys know we've had Fantom on the channel. Andre Cronje from Crypto Briefing. He is an advisor to Fantom. And shout out to this guy. He's saying, "I finally set my ledger up and I've got all of my private keys written down." You can see right here. "Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry." All right, guys. All right. But, friendly reminder, man, the layoffs that are happening over at Deutsche Bank are crazy. And you could see, Medeo DeMarco, he says, "When I left Deutsche Bank last year, I'm sure many of my coworkers thought I was taking too big of a risk going into crypto. I thought that they were taking the greater risk by staying." And once again, before we go, guys, friendly reminder, what are you waiting for at this point? Not financial advice, but do you want it to just go to 20K and then we'll all pile back in and start buying? Listen, man, it is what it is. You guys know this is the greatest wealth transformation the world has ever seen. So I've rambled on enough. You know how I feel, guys. That being said, every month